I just started it now.
Okay. Is the stream up?
Yep, we're live now.
All right. Cool. Are we live completely, or is it just playing the music right
No, we're live
Let me
now.
check.
Yeah. On YouTube.
On the tube. Your selection of music is very good, honestly.
Green light, give it all you got.
Thanks. I'm not trying much. Oh, Wolf's in the lead right now. Spicy. I had nothing prepared today.
So this one's the spoils, right?
Yes. They've mastered the plan. They have gathered the team. Now they're ready to execute.
Take the spoils, capiche?
Yep.
Someone comes from an Italian family. I can't verify. None of it, actually. I don't know what any of this is supposed to mean.
And that's all she wrote for the music tonight.
Yep.
Alright. So we get started. Welcome, everyone, to the Italian Job, round 3 here at Imola. We got Don Fox hanging out with us again in the booth tonight. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Pleasure to be here.
Should be a fun round.
Yep. It should be a fun round today. Like Shop saying, one of my friends last I sent it to him and I asked him, how do you think I did? He's like, it's fine, except for the fact that you say every 30 seconds. I'm like, that's a good point.
Comes
you got a
with
good
time.
point there. So
Comes with
it
time.
comes with time, I guess.
To get used to it and not think too much about what you're saying, but no problem.
Right.
This is awesome.
Yep. Fuck, I did it again. But yeah, we have about 4 minutes left in qualifying today in the Italian Job Race 3. Currently on pole position is Mia Swenson, and from Intruder Racing Team, good personal friend of mine. So I'm going to bully her on stream here, if you all don't mind.
You're kicking butt so far.
Oh, what are we doing here? A 42.5? They ain't gonna get it down there, capiche?
Yep.
No, but just joking around.
There we go. Get on track
right
now.
Italian Job here.
Yep, in the Ferrari. I believe if we're looking at the standings right now, JJ Burr is in the lead with 86 points, with Calvin Wolford behind him with 71 points.
Yeah, it'll be whoever. I think there's a few ways that Wolf can win, but there's also a lot more flex. Obviously, Beer having the better position. Is Beer even here? Yes, fourth position.
He's about 3/10 down from Wolf or so.
So I do believe if they finish in this exact order, Beer should take the championship.
Yeah, so he needs to finish at least 4th or higher. And I think he has it secured.
Yeah, but Wolf could take it if something happens to Beer. If he has a disconnection, crash, or whatever. It depends. It'll be pretty much up to Wolf here. Wolf does have a strong qualifying position. If he can qualify faster than if he can qualify on pole, I think he can do it. He just needs to put a better lap together. He's currently on a little bit of a sloppy lap right now, but but yeah, Gueda in P9. That's something you don't see every day. You usually see him up higher on the grid. He might have had some traffic or something in his way. If we take a look at him, it doesn't look like he has it looks like he has a little bit of traffic at the moment, but nothing too bad. You have Harder, who's currently sitting in P2. Just eight hundredths
Thousandths, I
away
guess.
from Swenson. No,
Yeah.
that's
Or
hundredths, I
hundredths,
believe.
sorry, right?
Yeah, it's all good. 800ths away from Swenson right now, and then we have Wolf, Beer, and Macaretta. Like I said last week, I thought the Lamborghinis would do better, and it looks like they're doing slightly better, but not as much as I honestly had hoped as somebody who mains the Lamborghini as well as the Lexus. So pretty odd combination of cars, but I guess I just make it work. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, the Lambo is not the most popular car. Found that surprising. I was talking about that during the Monza race that you actually start out in that car. So I wonder if maybe that's half of the issue is the first time you ever launched the game you're in it, and it's tricky or just boring. I don't know why people don't like it.
I mean, I think the reason that people don't pick the Lamborghini is just because there's a lot of other cars that people,
Yeah,
are told to drive. For example, the Ferrari Evo actually is a car that's very popular. I think it's more or less just a popularity thing rather than the car is just bad or anything.
yeah.
Because honestly, this car, in my opinion, has the best traction control system in the game. It's absolutely wonderful to drive. You just put your foot down, the car just goes wherever you ask it to. So, but I do think the car does have a few issues with some other sections of it. Overall, I think it just doesn't have as much speed as maybe the Ferrari, but that doesn't necessarily make it too bad of a car. It's still a very good car
And
to drive.
when we set up the server
And
here, every driver is an AM at the moment. We're not using classes, so that's not actually indicative to what their race
yeah,
pace is.
we'll just make everybody red.
Yeah.
Everybody's an amateur today. By that time, no, I'm just joking. That's a pretty good time, especially considering the fact they're running in 36 Celsius conditions. Very hot today here at Imola.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, so 42.5 is certainly a
Nate,
fairly
I
good
thought maybe
lap considering the conditions.
Nate was gonna finish that lap, but not looking at. I'm going with JJ as he's coming into the last couple corners
Yeah, let's see if he can
on a
beat
hat
Wolf,
lap. Yeah.
his championship rival at the moment. This is for the championship, so obviously Beer is going to be pushing pretty hard. Let's see what he comes across the line with in a moment here.
Oh, car number 9 having a moment. He's coming. He doesn't improve.
He does improve, but not nearly enough to beat Wolf. So that's unfortunate for him. But still,
Matt
if they
coming
remain
in
in
the
this
pits
position,
too.
if
Amias
they
is out
remain in
there
these
getting.
positions, Beer is looking likely to take the title, but obviously not quite in the fashion he probably would want to take it in. Obviously, a bit of not too much of a mixed-up grid, but it's just as we have some of the guys who usually run up front and towards the back. Gueda P9. That's something you don't see every day. Usually you see it, like I said earlier, you see him more in the front. Swenson P1, that's no surprise. Harder in P2. I think he was running around P5 or P6 last race, if I remember correctly. Of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, when you see this, Mr. Harder. But yeah, I don't really remember, but I don't remember him running as high as he is today. Definitely in a good position to get that podium place. Calvin Wolf in third, JJ Beer in fourth, Macaretta in fifth, Diggy Pow. Such a funny name to me. I'm sorry, but
sixth right now. So 2 Lambos, fifth and sixth.
Fifth and sixth of the Lamborghinis. That's correct.
Gar.
And then we have Gar, Defender, Gueda.
Yeah, Gueda's way down, and he's third on the championship at the moment.
Yeah, so that's not looking good for his championship, even if it is a little bit unlike, he's a bit of an outside chance. But we could see a situation like back in 2007 in the F1 World Championship where Kimi Räikkönen took it against pretty much all odds. So it could be the case. I'm not sure what happened with Gueda on that qualifying session. Maybe he just got caught in traffic, or maybe he just couldn't quite get the lap together. So
yeah, I'm not sure how much time he spent on this track.
Yeah, it is also true. If he just didn't have the time to practice this week, that also happens.
Yeah.
We have Minahan, File, Mazza, Gianluca D'Orsi, Sanchez, Moore, and Wyatt.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, hello,
Hi, how are
Mr.
you doing?
Race Director.
I'm just stopping by.
Right
We
on.
need some video on the stream.
All right,
We're just
I still
looking
have
at
it covered.
the cart.
There we go. Sorry, everyone. Thank you, Cobra, for coming in and letting us know. Being a
Oh,
little
did we have no
rusty over here.
video?
A little flustered. I was late today, so everything's everywhere. But should be good to go now.
Cheerio. Take care, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, you too.
So as the guys start pulling away for this formation lap, short
Oh.
formation lap.
Just pretend that you were hearing. Just pretend that you were watching it on the radio or something.
45
yeah,
minutes.
hopefully everything's short.
This
But
race, very hot track temp, eh? Very hot.
Yeah, very hot, 37 Celsius. That is a quite high of a temperature. That's something you don't normally see in ACC. Usually, I usually see things around the 20 Celsius, but of course, drivers, these guys are, made to contend with most things. So
doing the track shuffle over here.
Things, I should say. Yeah, we've got a bit of a shuffle. Swenson just pulling the Kimmy there and just not really trying to shuffle the tires too much.
No, everyone else was, but yeah, we'll stay on board. I think Calvin Wolf is the most interesting guy at this start here because of where he lies in the championship. So
absolutely true.
We'll watch it if he sends it or if he's smart about this. As they're away now, green flag. JJ eating them up on the inside. Well, I guess that's to be the outside. Yeah. Everything looks clean so far.
Yep, Calvin Wolf. He gets quite on that curb there, but no, he does lose the position too. I do think that is Beer, yep. But he's gonna try to fight back at Beer. So Beer does jump Calvin Wolf at the start. This is looking good for Beer.
Yep.
But Calvin Wolf, of course, isn't gonna be taking that one sitting down. He's gonna try to fight back and pull a Masano and try to fight back to take another win. His second win of the season. Second win of his career.
Yep. It's looking good so far. The guys are keeping it clean here. No incidents yet.
No incidents yet. Swenson leads away from Harder to Beer to Calvin Wolf, and then Macaretta is your top 5.
Yep.
Swenson already taking out a 7/10 of a gap there. Really good job. And then Harder, of course, is behind her, and then Beer, and then Wolf, just same order as we had a couple seconds ago. So if we go on board with Mia Swenson, I guess we'll go on board and we'll do a bit of a guide lap after she finishes up this opening lap.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, while we wait for that to happen, it looks like Gueda has not made up any positions. I thought he might be able to make up a few at the start, but not yet. But we'll have to see what happens with him.
Go down here.
Anyway, we come out of the final corner here at Imola, like riding with Swenson on board here. It is imperative that you get a good run onto this backstretch. This backstretch is extremely long here at Imola, and of course you want to preserve as much speed as possible for here. Generally speaking, you want to break it around that orange marker on the left side of the track. Come in, try to use as much curb as you can without unsettling the car, and then it should be flat around there. And onto this next back straight.
Yeah, a few of these guys will be taking it easy on the tires, eh? But coming in here, this lap, anyways.
Yeah. See, for that last corner, you had to brake, and I don't know, we might as well go in this corner. This corner, you go in a bit of a later apex in order to get as good of an acceleration out of the hairpin as possible. Use all that exit curb, and then we head on to the next corner. This corner, you want to take another bit of a later apex. Use as much curb as that possible. It's really easy to invalidate your lap there, so you got to be careful. And then another one where you have to brake and turn in at the same time. It's very difficult because you don't want to unsettle the car or cause the car to understeer, but you do have to find that balance of trying to get the car turned in and preserve as much speed as possible through there. Then probably the hardest part of the track, the chicane, you want to jump over the curbs without cutting the course. So it is a real balancing act, and it takes a lot of laps to try to get used to that. And then onto this, and it also costs you a lot of time because then we have this back straight here, the flat right-hander into the slower double left-hander, use as much of that exit curb, and then use a bunch of the exit curb onto the back straight, as we said before. And that is a lap of the Imola circuit.
Yeah, well done by Mia, just pulling away from the pack
Yeah,
here.
Mia really just pulling away here. I mean, we could see a situation. You know, we don't want to count everybody out just yet.
As we found out last week, eh?
Yeah, as we found out with Mr. Caglione, who took the lead. You know, built up a huge gap in the opening laps, and then just, he was forced to throw it away after having that crash. So,
Yeah.
And Wolf took his first victory. So, honestly, this is a bit of a toss-up. I'm not sure what happened. In other news, it looks like Harder's also building a gap on Beer as well. So that'll be an interesting development. See if Harder can take his first podium of the season.
Right, Gaeta getting ahead now. He had to make a bit of a dive to the inside there. Able to carry the speed up here.
Dive on Dorsey, and but he will take the position back from him. Gaeta obviously, wanting to try to make a charge to the field here after that disappointing qualifying session.
Yep. So he gets through, and he's clear now, getting some clean air. Somewhat of clean air, as there's a Lambo in front he's hunting down with P. Fender.
Yep, Mr. P. Fender, a longtime driver of the league. Speaking of the Lamborghinis, we have fifth, sixth, and seventh are all Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Nice and have ducks in a row a little bit there.
Yeah.
Another battle that's currently going on is the battle for 15th. If we look back here, Moore and Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt's right there.
Wyatt obviously being a bit of the star of the show last week after causing a bit of after being that blue flag car that tightened up the battle quite a lot between Caglione and Wolf last race.
Keep an eye on this, because Wyatt
obviously
seems
getting stuck in a bit of a bad position.
Seems to have maybe a bit more pace at the moment over the Ferrari ahead.
Yeah, he does seem to have a bit more pace. It does seem to be only a matter of time before he does get past that Ferrari.
So how did this happen here? Harder's like way closer now, so did Mia have a bit of a moment?
I wonder if she did. Maybe she got some sort of oversteer. Maybe Harder's just picking up the pace. I'm not really sure. It will depend. I guess we'll have to see in these next couple laps if Swenson starts pulling away.
He's definitely closed up the gap here, so.
But yeah, the gap is starting to close between, and in the meantime, Beer does seem to be losing time a little bit on Harder, but not too much. So we'll have to see. Maybe if he can stick touch them, maybe he can outsmart him with some pit strategy here. In the meantime, Calvin Wolf, we go through the field here. Calvin Wolf, about 8/10 behind Beer. As Beer starts closing up on Harder quite a bit there in that sector. Not sure if that's just that sector or whether that is going to be the rule of thumb from now on, but we'll have to see. Macaretta seems to be losing a bit of touch with Calvin Wolf, but obviously anything can happen. Diggy Pow is about 5 seconds back on Macaretta, as it seems.
I was about to get interesting, but.
Oh wait, I think Diggy Pow fell back. He made some sort of mistake, because now he's
down here.
He's currently being passed. Oh, he gets tapped off into the
File
gravel.
was almost off, and File they make a tap with Luger and.
Oh, it's a crash!
Oh no!
It's a crash and File, but they are going to make it out alive.
Everyone's still on track.
A near disaster there. But yeah, that was a bit of a. I'm not really sure I had to judge. I guess the stewards will have something to say about that. Oh, that one was close. And look at what is going on here in the back of the grid. Mazza just going kamikaze and almost killing half the field. I wonder if he either just completely missed his braking point or something. Maybe his brakes stopped working on his.
He collected Todd File, so Todd File's down here.
Oh, he did collect File.
But not too much. Not the worst hit I've ever seen, but definitely sent him spinning.
Yeah, that's really not good for File. He's obviously going to have a lot of work to do now, unfortunately.
But you see on his car, no visible damage to it.
Yeah, no visible damage. I did see, I think he might have spun in front of Diggy Pow. It did look like it could have been the case, but I'm not quite sure. as Dorsey is now on, or right on the rear bumper of Diggy Pow. Let's see how he does trying to catch up and pass Diggy Pow. I mean, he has already caught him, so it's just a matter of can he get the pass done. I guess we'll have to see with
That was amazing. All these guys kept it on track, though. That the bumper cars 101 there, and they end up surviving it all together. Not what you want to see, though. But as we watch here, Dorsey's getting very
obviously
close.
mistakes do happen, so obviously want to keep those to a minimum. Yeah, but T-File just getting really
Yep.
just having a real messy
Effect.
moment
Like,
there.
he's not
13
as far
seconds
back as
on
I
the-
thought he would be, though. In the end, really, like 13 seconds is bad, but could be a
Yeah,
worse.
but obviously
Oh, you watch Dorsey trying to dive up the inside, and he makes the move stick, but can he keep it? No, he cannot. Too much speed through there, and Diggy Pow's gone.
Yep, Diggy Pow is gone,
He's
and
checking
that's
out.
gonna. And also, Minahan has gotten past Sanchez, back here, a pedal that we unfortunately didn't catch for you guys. But yeah, Minahan, that Iron Links,
Black
sorry,
Iron Links, because
Iron
there's a
Links,
blue one, yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Links Ferrari.
Ooh, Dorsey having a bit of a
Dorsey
moment
getting
there.
having a bit of a oversteer moment there. Allows Minahan to catch, close up on him. Can Minahan get the pass done? I guess we'll have to see here momentarily. Oh, Dorsey goes wide. And Minahan will get the overtake done. As
Dorsey's on the brakes.
Dorsey has stopped and goes back to pits.
No, he's on that. Oh, he does.
He does go back to pits. Something may have happened. Maybe some sort of hardware failure. Excuse me,
yeah.
hardware failure.
Possibly.
But we'll have to see about that.
And Top File decides to park her as well.
Yeah, Top File has decided to call it a day.
In all that chaos,
by
Wolf got past JJ somehow on track. And now JJ's
I think File just decided to pit in.
Oh, he's back on. He must have had a lot of damage, so he pits in early, gets his pit stop done.
Yeah, I think he does get his pit stop done.
And he's not getting lapped by the entire field, about half the field. So.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly better than. And this is of course benefited Goeta a lot as he's back on the back of Defender right now, 4 tenths behind him.
Hunting him down.
In the meantime, Swenson continues to lead the race as Calvin Wolf. Something we didn't notice there, Calvin Wolf has gotten back past
that's what I was saying there. He made that move somewhere on track. We did not witness it, unfortunately. But he's ahead by a good amount now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Macaretta is closing up on Beer, so I think maybe Beer has some sort of issue, maybe some damage. I'm not really sure. Sorry we didn't catch that for you guys, but
could have overheated the tires a bit, causing him to. And he was getting pressured hard from Calvin Wolf from behind.
Yeah, Macaretta's really closing up now. Can we see Lamborghini on the podium? That's going to be interesting to see.
That would be something if he can make it happen.
I will be right back, gentlemen.
Don't worry.
I'm going to be right back.
So Mia out here in the lead. 6 laps in, still leading by almost a second. The gap did drop there for a little bit, so either just preserving that tire life there, making sure they don't get any punctures, reducing the PSI numbers there. But she seems to be back on the pedal and hitting some great lap times. It's very interesting. We still have Harder here in second. Calvin Wolf in third. So Calvin just needs to stay down here and get a great pit strat, maybe to undercut the leader, but I'm not sure how good that is at this track. And JJ back here having to defend from Macaretta from behind, so he's not really gaining on Calvin at all. And Wolf, Matt P. Fender's kind of right here, and he's got Goeta, who's obviously a capable driver, as we've seen him do well in the first 2 rounds so far.
Yeah, obviously that mistake in that first round cost him quite a lot of points, but obviously it seems Dorsey has decided to park it. I'm not sure what the issue was. But yeah, Dorsey has
Checked out
decided to
this
park
one.
the car up
Yep.
for the day. Unfortunate for him. So as for some other battles going on with the grid does seem to have closed up, or opened up quite a lot. Most of the gaps around a second and a half to or larger.
Yep. We got kind of a split pack here of the top 5 kind of on their own, and then these middle guys here, and then a backpack of their own. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. Somebody who I think is going to be a bit of a mover today is Diggy Pouse. He was running P7, and then obviously just not quite having the best of luck. I'm not sure what happened there.
Watch this move. It's a Russell and a Valtteri situation where they get through cleanly, but Goeta is right on the butt of P Fender in that Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, Fender and Goeta are now right next to each other.
We're looking this turn complex. He won't be able to make a pass, but the next one he might dive on the brake.
Oh, P Fender gets loose. Can Goeta?
A little bit of dirt.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
So is the Ferrari
Fender
gonna carry?
Struggling a little bit for grip, but Goeta, Lamborghini did seem to slow the Ferrari a little bit on exit there. Pretty smart move there by Fender.
Yeah, no way to make a pass there, not even anywhere close. And now this middle section, oh, watch him going into the chicane as on the brakes. Goeta is probably going to get right on the rear bumper there and get close.
I don't know about all that. He doesn't seem to be gaining too much on Fender. So unless he tries some sort of dive, which probably isn't the smartest move.
No. Just watching the brakes, I feel like, okay, P Fender having a bit of a moment, I feel like, but still ahead.
So Goeta missing that second curb there, costing him a little bit of time. Now JJ Beer, if you look a little bit further up the grid, Macaretta's right on JJ Beer. JJ Beer really struggling for grip there.
Yeah. If he has any sort of damage, you would think he would want to pit early and repair that, but you don't want to get too early in the pits and get passed by the leaders, right?
Right, so I think Beer is just going to try to manage whatever problem he has, whether that be some tire issues or maybe some damage. Obviously, let's check if there's any let's check if there's any visual damage on the car.
So I got Sanchez going in the pit lane, first of the guys who have not had any incidents here. As Top File still down the order somewhere. Where is Top File on track? He's just coming to Sector 2. And Diggy Pow's behind him, hunting him down.
Yep, but about lap traffic here as they come through. Again at Mazza, the man who what I assume, completely missed his braking point there.
At Monza.
No, not at Monza, but at Imola earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was earlier.
They bombed that first chicane there. Nearly took a few cars out.
So our pack is like, the drivers are all pretty spread out at the moment. A couple guys close to making moves, but nothing to yet. And as Macaretta right there, we watch him. He takes a little too much curb and really affected his speed out of this corner.
Yeah, but honestly, Macaretta's, I believe, has just a better pace overall compared to that of JJ Beer.
Goeta now is in the pit lane. So
Goeta coming in a bit early, just wanting to get that stop done.
So Sanchez is just now going into Sector 2, so... And Mia conserving tires, I'm assuming, here. And drops back. Again, just a half-second gap. We've seen her do that once already here, where she dropped back and then took off again. So either her consistency is so good and Arter is not as consistent sometimes and making a mistake, or she's saving those tires.
Yeah, I do believe Swenson may she either may saving fuel or she may be saving tires. I'm not really sure here. We'll have to see. Or maybe it is something where with the consistency. But
Yeah.
honestly, it doesn't seem that she's done. Yeah, but also that can cost you a bit of time on track having to fuel save. So
Yeah,
just depend.
I would just wonder what's the what's the point, because that if you have to change a set of tires, your pit stop's gonna be and
Oh, here comes Swenson.
she
She comes to the
dodges it
pits.
the last second, pulling into the pit lane. Calvin Wolf staying out. Now Calvin
Wolf
needs to
staying
put the
out.
pedal down and get the fastest lap he can right now, and try to
Yeah.
get back.
Obviously,
And
I do think that Calvin Wolf
I
will
is he
be
gonna
trying to
yeah
push as hard as he can, try to get the best in lap, or if he doesn't pit in this lap, in the next couple laps. This is pretty much the
and why
definitive point in the race. And Wyatt gets a stop go 30, I assume, for speeding in the pit lane. Really unfortunate for him. He was actually up a few positions.
letting other guys
So that
through. So
obviously will
nice.
not help his race.
No, nice by him. So what does Calvin do here? As we have a lot of guys in the Diggy Powell and more.
Oh yeah,
on
Diggy
on
Pow,
the
Minahan, Mazza, and it's moving around a little bit. And Swenson, all currently in the pits right now.
Yeah.
As Minahan comes into his pit slot right ahead of Swenson as Swenson pulls out. So
Yeah, she's leaving now. So, like Calvin
Swenson,
having a moment, going very wide there off track. So what does Calvin do here as we let Watt get cleared of that penalty? As
yeah, maybe
he's
some sort of maybe it was some sort of server problem that hit him. Oh, okay,
no,
so he does
we're
get
just
a 5-second
reducing
penalty
that
instead.
to a different type of penalty. It's unfortunate to have to give a stop go. I mean,
Yeah,
a drive through is bad enough. A penalty added on at the end of the race is bad, but a stop and go is just too far in my opinion. So
a stop and go, especially for speeding just a couple miles an hour in the pit lane.
So Calvin Wolf
and
decides
Wolf
to come in
comes
now.
into the pits. Calvin Wolf coming in. He's pitting in right now. Let's see if he could make that.
And JJ's right behind him. Harder's ahead of him.
Comes in. JJ Beer obviously going to be relieved to come into that pit lane, try to get some new tires and get that car back and ready to
go. Minahan getting the drive through.
Minahan getting a drive through for what I assume is track limits.
No, I think it would have. Oh, was he already back on track?
Not quite
maybe
sure.
It was speeding in the pit lane there, just engaging the. Disengaging the pit limiter just before the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a stop go?
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's given a 5-second penalty instead. A fair decision by the stewards, in my opinion. Don't want to wreck someone's race because they spent just 3 kilometers an hour too much in the pit lane.
To me, he's coming around the last corner. Calvin doesn't seem to be anywhere close to being done. Oh, he just dropped now. Now he has a short distance, trying to get as much heat in the tires. She's gonna have Mia's gonna have.
That might slow him down a little bit here to get through the pit lane, and he's out.
She's gonna have so much more speed to them, but
Swenson and Harder jumps Swenson out of the pit lane. Harder currently has the provisional lead at the moment. Maybe not on track, but in terms of the cars that have already pitted, he is in the lead. So Macaretta currently leads on track, but not in terms of strategy. And then Pitfender is in second, Gar and more.
Oh, great.
Halfway through the race.
Sorry about that, folks. Had a stupid leg spike again here.
Yeah, it happens.
All is good as well as again. So it looks like we have, well, the order's kind of mixed up because some guys are waiting to do their pit stops here, but at the moment, looking like what Harder, Swenson, Wolf, JJ, Burr, and Guaida, the top guys in the race at the moment. So we're familiar with those names from all 3 rounds so far. They've been up there.
I feel a little bit stupid for this. When you look at Wolf's name in the game, it says VV, which is supposed to make a W. I didn't actually ever realize that until right now.
Yes, it's his way of being unique, quotation marks.
Wolf is a bit of a unique character in more than one way. Just kidding, just kidding.
No, it's true. You don't have to be nice to him.
Come on now.
So Mia's gonna be right on the bumper. I mean, now Harder's gotta.
Harder's got to put the foot down because Swenson is going to be piling on the pressure here.
So it's
obviously wanting to take the victory.
Trying to focus on just getting your break. Ooh,
Swenson goes a little wild.
And she's floating. Oh, she's back. It was digging into the ground, the rear, and her bumper was floating in the air. It was quite entertaining. But what I wonder what happened there. Just missed braking point, or did
Yeah, I do think it was
Harder
some sort of missed braking point, or Harder might have broken a little bit early and caught Swenson off guard. Either way, that's going to put Swenson quite a far back. It's going to put Wolf closer in firing distance of Swenson. Coming across the crest, you can see Wolf in the background there. As Swenson comes through, and I guess we're about to see the interval gap. 3.1 seconds now. So not very good block by Swenson, but it will depend on how fast she can close the gap. And how fast Wolf can close the gap. He's starting to close in a little bit here.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wolf is currently in the position to maybe snatch the title. I'm not really sure because he is separated by Macaretta in the middle there. So it'll depend.
I'm not so smart with math or numbers right now. I think it's so close that.
Yeah, it is really close. So I'd have to look at how the point system works. Is it normal Formula 1, like 25-18?
Nicholas Wyatt in the wall, and yeah, that's a broken front end of a Lambo. Ooh, having trouble even turning.
Yeah.
Not nice. Not what you want to pull into the pit lane. The guys would not be happy with you. That would be a classic sledgehammer type repair job.
The front of the car. But obviously not having very good luck there, Wyatt, but he keeps going. A lot of respect to that, just even when the times get tough, just keep on going.
He's really trying to wrangle that Lamborghini, having a lot of trouble with the rear end not being stable. So
yeah, might have to lend him some of my setups after this race, but
yeah, the best thing I found recently in trying to understand car setup is really diving on YouTube and watching a lot of tutorials. It's never the first tutorial that you click on that's gonna explain it the way you understand it in your brain. So I had to take some time and really dig in to find some guys that made sense to me the way they explained it.
Right. A lot of the most popular guys are going to explain things a little bit of different terms than some of the other guys.
Yeah.
Also, actually, I learned a lot of my setup knowledge from some of the guys in ZRL. Shout out to Suniega.
Yeah, that's
taught me
true,
how tire
man.
pressures work. I never knew that until he was like, "Why are you running 25 psi?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know it made a difference."
Yeah, getting into league racing and asking advice from more seasoned drivers is a good way, but really with setups, you have to put the time in to understand how it works entirely, anyways.
Especially considering like stuff like dampers take a lot of time to understand. In the meantime, though, Wolf closing up on Swenson. I figured that she would start closing the gap on Harder, but no, it does seem that Wolf is going to be closing it on Swenson instead. Wolf's really close. Is he going to go for the move? Not right there, but let's see if he can get some sort of move done within this lap. We'll have to see what happens. Wolf is going to be hungry for that P2. The wider the gap between Beer and Wolf, the better for him to win this championship.
Exactly. I was just going to say before I move was just lull, probably the mid section of the track, not really a passing lane, but I'd be remiss to mention that, if you are struggling with pace and you're somewhat new or you've been playing for 6 months or so, it's definitely not going to be a setup change. It's going to change the way you drive and get you those lap times. It's going to be looking at the way you hit the course and your lines you're taking, and your braking points. So watching tutorial videos on how to run the tracks properly is another great way to reduce lap time by seconds,
Right.
literally, if you watch someone that might be a
Yeah.
part of the track
So
they're doing totally wrong.
well, a lot of them are a bit older. The Unleashed driver videos are still very relevant and still very good track guides,
Yep.
just for get the general idea of the track. So obviously he does a great job over there, Unleashed drivers.
Yeah, if you're looking, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, if you are a bit newer and you just are about like 5 seconds off the pace, chances are it'll be something to do with the braking or the acceleration points.
More so than the setup, So
Yeah. So once you get within, I'd say around 1 or 2 seconds. And then back in the
they're
meantime,
side by
Wolf
side
is
right
going to
now.
try to go around the outside, and they touch. They touch.
Make
As
contact.
Wolf bullies Swenson out of the way. That is a aggressive move by Wolf. That's something you don't normally see from him. I'm sure the stewards might have to have a look at that, but obviously, rubbing is racing. So
That's a difference here compared to open wheel racing. I mean, if you ever watch any GT4 racing in real life, especially the America series, they're smashing and bumping doors constantly.
Right, for sure. And,
a little bit different because they're not as reliant on downforce as even the GT3s are. So
yeah, so obviously the our race director Cobra, may have a bit of a word to say with that one, but I'm not really sure what if he'll have to say to give back for Swenson to give back the position.
Yeah, they were side by side, and
they worked side by side. There wasn't much either one could do.
No.
In that situation. So I do think that it was I would say it's a fair overtake by Wolf, but I think in the future maybe a little bit less aggressive. But when you're trying to get around somebody, and you're starting to get desperate, sometimes the best measure is to go for those risky overtakes.
And those championship points are on.
Yeah, obviously championship points are on the line. This whole championship for Wolf is currently on the line.
And Wolf wouldn't, and he wouldn't have took that chance if he knew, and isn't prepared to hit those lap times to keep himself ahead. So we'll watch Mia in the last 14 minutes here if she can close again and start battling him. That's not what Wolf's gonna want to start happening though. He's gonna need to keep up that and stay ahead and
try to catch more and see if he can take see if he can take another victory. 3.3 seconds now is the gap, so we'll have to see if he can start closing up on Harder or whether that's going to be too tall of an order for Wolf. We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, let's see as you can see Harder, so it's definitely coming closer.
Yes, you can certainly indeed see him, so we'll have to see what the gap is at the next interval. And it's 2.7 seconds. That's a whole second gained on Harder. So Wolf is lapping pretty much the fastest car on track right now.
At the moment, Wolf's acting like a pig with a carrot in front of him hanging on a stick kind of thing. You can see Harder, and he knows that's where he wants to be. That's his goal, and he's hunting it down.
Yep, he's hunting it down. And as Wyatt is our lapped car that we're coming up on here, as the leaders come up on him.
See if he can not try to call you out there, Wyatt, or anything. Just interesting that from last week. Hopefully, it's not the same. But
no, it won't be. I think he's learned.
Yeah, he didn't crash anyone last week, but he came damn close. So, but as he has the faster guys behind him.
Yeah. I think Wyatt will do a good job. He's obviously
Harder.
He's obviously. He's obviously not trying to get in anybody's way. Honestly, last week though, I do have to give him a break because that position he was in, it was a very hard position to get through. So I can't really blame him too much for there.
And this time he lets those leaders through, no trouble.
Yeah, this time he lets them in, no trouble. So good on him.
And he goes wide on the
he goes a little bit wide there, but obviously that car is very damaged. So it'll be a case of can he?
Oh yeah, he is quite damaged.
He might need to come. He should probably come into the pits to get that car fixed, but obviously he doesn't want to lose too much time.
At this point, I don't know if it's worth trying to struggle around there or
if it's worth turning.
Even if he goes in for repairs, he's gonna have about 8 minutes on track remaining after. But it would feel a lot better than how the car probably feels at the moment.
Yeah, Harder is 2/10 as Harder passes for the lead ahead of Moore, who's on really old tires. I think Moore just is trying to he's trying to just hit the last lap or something.
Well,
I'm not really sure.
yeah, talking about
What the
someone who
strategy
needs
is there.
to get in the pit lane and more
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Moore there as Harder comes through to take the lead. Obviously, Moore is not going to be wanting to lose too many more positions, but so we'll have to see how he does compared to the
After
to the
his
other
pit stop, where
guys.
he's gonna come out like in ninth or
Oh,
something?
there he comes in. Moore comes into the pit lane as he did hold up Wolf quite a lot there. But I mean, obviously they're racing for position, so it's not too big of a deal.
No,
And
Wolf was
Wolf
trying to
is
get his.
closer than ever.
Yeah.
So is Swenson. Swenson's really close. So a three-way battle for the lead right now, as Swenson half a second, and then Wolf just 1.3 seconds. Just a couple laps ago, we saw it be almost 4 seconds was the gap, and he's cut that down to 1.2 now. Swenson is about 1.2 away from Wolf now. Oh, Wolf does get a little bit of grass, but no harm, no foul there.
Wyatt, you need to go. Wyatt needs to go in the pit lane. The poor guy. Anyways, back onto Calvin Wolf, who's tracking down the leader, and I was just on JJ, who's down in fifth
Yeah, how's
position.
JJ Beer doing in P5? His title hopes are slowly fading away. This is not good for him, especially if Wolf takes the lead, which it does look like he is in prime to do.
Yeah.
Gueda, how's Gueda doing? He's in P6 right now.
Yeah, he's in clean air, has no trouble to worry about behind. I don't think.
So maybe he can get past Beer, as Beer is just right there. So that could be a potential battle we need to look at. Gueda versus Beer. Beer is dropping like fly. I wonder what's wrong with him. He qualified so well, and now he's all the way down into 5th place, and losing time.
A little flustered, or he didn't practice on this high track temp. Probably experiencing a lot more.
Maybe
he thought.
Maybe some sort of issue with the tire pressures. It's the same.
Oh yeah, that could be in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a trouble if his tires are under or overfilled too much.
Yeah, under or over. I mean, it's really particular on this game. If it's too high, you're sliding around too much. If it's too low, you might be sliding around, or you're not getting enough grip to take the corners at the speed you need.
Right, and I think that's what we could be seeing with Swenson as well. Why she's slowed down so much on her second stint in these tires.
Yeah. It is an art.
Calvin Wolf gets loose.
Oh yeah.
And Swenson gets a good run. Can Swenson get the move done? It does look like she might be able to. Calvin Wolf breaks late and cuts across ahead.
Ooh.
Oh, that one's going to be close.
And he hit a bit too much curb, yeah.
They touch again. These two really going at it. 0.04 of a second between the two. Wolf having some issues now. This is what Harder really wants to see. He just wants to see those two go at it in their rearview mirror, saying, "Yeah, all right,
keep on taking off.
You two go ahead. I'll go ahead and take the lead here."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really what Harder wants to see, but obviously Calvin Wolf now having a bit more of a decisive lead over Swenson. The gap has increased almost 3.1 seconds. Ooh. He lost about a second. Calvin Wolf having some real issues here.
Yeah, much slower through there, so that Mia's going to be on his tail. Is she going to try something here in the brakes? Nope, just keeping it clean.
Oh, no, Swenson. Yeah, Swenson just a bit overshooting it, just trying to get past Calvin Wolf at this point.
It was too exciting to possibly get that move done, and now the gap's grown again.
And as we mentioned, Wyatt now coming in to get that car fixed. Pretty good decision by him there. I cannot blame him. As Moore unfortunately will get thrown to the back of the grid.
Yeah.
After leading the race, I think that was just too aggressive of a pit strategy.
Yeah, in this game, if you don't have the pace of the leader, there's no point in trying to stay out the whole time.
I mean, to be fair, he was holding them off for a long time, but it just obviously probably wasn't what he wanted to see. But in the meantime,
Wolf getting ooh, who's that? Number 9.
Number 9, Mazza. Mazza, who's the car that we saw overshoot the first chicane earlier, it went off a little bit there. But of course he recovers the car. No, it doesn't seem to be any visible damage.
Oh, so looking here, so Sanchez.
He goes loose through there, and he just completely cuts that chicane. That might be his drive. That might be a track limit warning. I'm not sure.
I was going to mention here, so Sanchez, I don't know if him or the car ahead are on the same lap, but that 5-second penalty to Minahan, he could get that position to 10th if he closes that up.
Mm-hmm.
See where JJ is. So why it's in between JJ and Guaida. Guaida wanting to probably get past as soon as possible as
Wyatt does get out of
get
the
out
way.
of the
It
way.
seems of
Wyatt is
Guaida.
repaired though, so no trouble with the steering anymore. And Guaida gets free, and now he's off to hunt down JJ. But what?
Shout out to Macarena.
Yeah,
Currently sitting P4, not too far behind the leaders. I wonder if he can get himself up there and try to challenge for the podium positions.
he looks like he's got great pace, a good form, and he's going. He's feeling good, as his team name is.
Yeah, 1.8 seconds out of Swenson, and Swenson starts losing touch with Wolf. Wolf is seemingly fixed whatever issue he had before, and is now back on the charge to try to catch back up to Harder. 2.6 seconds now?
I believe it's always been a Ferrari 1-2-3. Is that right in the series so far? I don't quite remember.
I do believe so. I think maybe did Lamborghini score on the podium in the first race?
I think the
I'm not
closest
sure.
was 4th position. So it'd be something to see a Lambo get a podium here in the series.
Yeah, 1.7 seconds now. The gap is closing between Swenson and Macarena. If
We
Macarena can just slowly close that gap, he's got
yeah.
about 4 minutes and 43 seconds to do it. I don't know if it'll be enough time, but it'll certainly be interesting to see.
We love this this format, or at least the idea of it. It sounded good, but really at the moment it is more a spec series of Ferraris. So that's something we are a lot of the communities, a lot of the leagues out there are looking to get into, is spec racing in this, like lock setups. It's not something that Kunos has talked about doing, but it would definitely be a great feature to add to it, as then people don't have such a fair advantage or unfair advantage. It's more about driver skill than setting up the car right. If we did do that, obviously we would try to get a good solid setup for everyone to use, as
Yeah,
it's
I mean, that
recommended
is
to use the aggressive setup, but for a lot of people, myself included, the aggressive is just too loose that I cannot consistently run around the track safely without having a moment somewhere within a span of 30 minutes that I end up wiping out because I can't handle it. So
Yeah, I mean, spec series is interesting, but at the same time, I do like seeing the variety of different cars on the track. It's kind of the beauty of GT3 racing in
that
my
is
eyes.
true. That is true.
But
Yep.
And also, I mean, but it is a good idea, especially if you use one of the older cars, for example, like the 650S GT3, something like that. A bit more of a fun series with some of the older spec GT3s.
So as we have
Those are
3
always fun
minutes
to
to
do.
go here, I just wanted to bring up that so this is the last round here, as Calvin Wolf looks to have
This duel
disconnected on
between
my
Harder,
screen.
I mean, obviously this is becoming something like Caglione versus Wolf, except for now Wolf is the one hunting and Harder is the one that was in Wolf's position last race. So interesting to see. And Macarena's is holding about the constant gap to Swenson, so he's going to need to start closing that up pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
If he expects to get past Swenson.
Yeah, he's right there. You really can see that carrot dangling in front of him, but he's got a worthy opponent ahead of him, a very skilled driver to hunt down. So
yeah, for sure. Swenson obviously very experienced. I've raced with her for 2 years now, I want to say 3 years. In the original Soto Corsa and in this game. She's actually I think the person who told me about this game, told me to buy it. So it's pretty interesting thing to know. But back to the racing. Yeah, Macarena's closing in now. 1.2 seconds, gained about half a second on that lap in the last interval. But Calvin Wolf, 1.7 seconds out. He's really going to be pushing. As did Harder go off. Yes, he did, but it doesn't seem to affect his lap time too much, as Calvin Wolf continues his charge on to try to get that lead. They've got
he needs that P1. I think he needs it.
I've got about
I'm
2
not
laps
entirely
left.
sure. But...
They've got 2 laps left here. It'll be interesting to see JJ Beer. I don't know if this would be
Who
enough.
has
I'd have to
the...
look at. Let me check the point system here real quick, and I can give you guys the answer.
Sure,
If
I was just gonna
you
mention
know the term.
JJ Burr in that 7-Eleven Ferrari has the fastest lap right now with a 1:42.837. So he's on, and actually the closest to him is Dave Macaretta, who has a 1:33 or 1:43.0.
You say Beer set the fastest lap of the race?
Yeah, Vera set the fastest lap, so he gets 1 point. So he's still
Yeah,
in
so
that fastest lap
obviously,
point.
I mean, he could be seeing. We could be seeing him, go all the way, to P4.
Yep.
Um.
Anything's possible at this point, but he is
Yeah, anything is possible.
5 seconds behind. So I mean, unless a major incident happens as the leader crosses the line with 30 seconds remaining. Very, very good racing here tonight. A lot of solid stuff. A couple battles that were maybe quite aggressive moves made to make them, but when the championships is hanging in the balance, you kind of have to be that aggressive driver here, with Wolf being 1.5 seconds down behind Harder, and he'll be pushing as hard as he can, but he doesn't want to end up throwing it away at all. Hunting down P1 when you could finish P2. You don't want to toss it here in the last couple corners.
Yeah, so the point system will be if they finish how it is, Wolf will get 46 points and JGB will get 33, which is 13-point difference, and I think that would hand Wolf the championship.
Okay.
Art.
Oh. Did Harder just... Wolf got past Harder in that section.
Wolf was passed.
So Harder had a moment in that little section, and
Swenson
is right there.
Is coming through.
Yeah.
Swenson. So Calvin Wolf takes the lead on the final lap of the race.
You just put the pressure on Harder. He got
it, and Wolf will take his second win in ZRL in his ZRL career and his second win of the championship, and I think that gives him the championship.
It does, yeah. He's got it. So Calvin Wolf crosses the line in P1.
Calvin Wolf is your Italian job champion.
And Harder in P2.
Provisionally, of course. Swenson is P3, and Harder is P2. Good charge by him. Macareta not quite getting it done.
Fourth, JJ. Fifth. Well done. And Guayet, our best driver, I think, for gaining positions this race anyways. P. Fender in 7th, coming across the line, that Lambo. And Luger coming 8th. Diggy Powell now bringing her down across the line as Nicholas Wyatt crossing the line. Great job, Nicholas, for sticking it out even if you're having a lot of trouble on track. Well done.
Yeah, good job. Good job, my guy.
Nate Diggy Powell, our best named driver on track, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
11th position. Todd Files sticking it out all the way to the end. 12th. Good job by him. Mazza coming in 13th. Having some trouble on track, so good job for finishing.
And yes, Calvin Wolf, as I just did the math, Calvin Wolf is your champion. Just 2 points.
Wow, so well done by Calvin Wolf. That was the closest championship battle I think we've had. They both need to be super proud of themselves. JJ having a great, solid, consistent championship there. And Calvin Wolf coming back, getting a win yesterday or last week, and having the motivation to practice and get good and make sure he won this one and won the championship. So,
yeah, a great job by Calvin Wolf.
Yeah, as he
huge
says,
congratulations to him.
He's
a
sweating.
Second victory and another victory.
So thanks everyone for joining. Thanks
excuse me, another and a championship by him. ZRL crowns a champion.
Thanks to yourself there, Don Fox, for helping me out with commentary. It was a pleasure doing it with you. Hopefully we can do it more in the future, and you guys will see more Don Fox hopefully as well. Stick around and pay attention to our Discord if you're part of it. and announcement video for our 6th season coming out in a few weeks. So make sure to look
Yep.
up for that stuff. Sign up, and maybe you'll be racing with these guys, having a great time, and we'll be commentating on your great battles. So appreciate the time tonight. Thanks for stopping in and watching, and take care,
Yep.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we'll talk to you
Take
later.
care. Have a great night.
All right, see you, man. Bye.